But let's look at some of the critical reaction, both in the United Kingdom and in this country. The film was released in America on June the 28th. On the very next day, June the 29th, the Reuters news agency reported that the city of Liverpool demanded an apology from Hollywood over the new summer blockbuster, The Patriot. Now, Bannister Tarleton, the villain of the piece, was from Liverpool. The City Council of Liverpool was irate that the character in the film was clearly modeled on Tarleton, a native Liverpudlian that depicts him as a butcher, and this was a complete misrepresentation and a distortion. According to city records, when Tarleton returned to Liverpool in 1782 after legendary exploits in the colonies, he was feted by admirers and the church bells rang out in celebration. And he went on to become a member of Parliament of Liverpool for 20 years. A British reporter, Neil Norman, resorted to an ad hominem attack on Gibson, as an honorary Australian who seems to have it in for the English in a big way. Now notice the difference, the English in a big way. He said that this Gibson was not content with allying himself with the Harry Need porridge munchers in a ludicrous travesty of British history with Braveheart. So he dismisses the Scots as Harry Need porridge munchers, some of whose descendants would of course be in the backcountry of Carolina. He said, Mad Mel is now having another bash at the British with the historical epic, The Patriot. The English are not only in for a thorough pasting from Mel and his band of motley guerrillas, but also a comprehensive character assassination. To a man, the dastardly English are depicted as heartless toffs, Machiavel's war criminals, and child killers. When the critics weren't attacking Gibson, they were attacking the hero of the movie that Gibson portrayed, whom they identified as Francis Marion. Well, let's get the record straight. The character is about an amalgamation of at least 3 South Carolina partisan leaders, Andrew Pickens, Thomas Sumter, and Francis Marion. Because most of the scenery for the movie takes place in and around the low country swamps, they assumed it was Francis Marion. But just as an aside, Francis Marion didn't have any children. The hero in the movie has got lots. The London Daily Express went after Francis Marion, saying that he had a reputation as a racist who hunted Native Americans for sport and regularly raped his female slaves. Not true, and I'll deal with that in a little bit. But this is the kind of reaction that the English press and an English author who had written a book on the Revolution called Red Coats and Rebels, The American Revolution Through British Eyes, and that should give you a flavor of what the book is all about, described Francis Marion, not in his book, but in interviews with the British press, as a wily and elusive character, very active in the persecution of Cherokee Indians, and not at all the sort of chap who should be celebrated as a hero. People like Marion committed atrocities as bad, if not worse, than those perpetrated by the British. Now let me point out, in defending the British and attacking Marion, and this is in 2000, he said, Marion committed atrocities as bad, if not worse, than those perpetrated by the British. So obviously the British did commit atrocities while they were in the Carolinas. One English film critic said that Gibson should be denied entry to the United Kingdom, saying that those who rape women run into immigration trouble, why not those who rape British history? That appeared in the Evening Standard. And then there was a Washington-based British reporter who disputed the portrayal of Colonel Tarleton, even by going so far as to say there had been no massacre at the Battle of the Waxhaws on the border between North and South Carolina, which is historic fact accepted by both sides.